Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two extra replays in the Panhard EBR 75 FL10. This is the French Tier 8 premium light tank that came out on Tuesday, and initially I was not a big fan of the tank, and it's mainly down to the handling of it. When you're trying to drive and turn these wheels, it's a right pain. And the mobility, because the thing is, this tank has two good strengths. It's camo rating and its gun. Its gun is fantastic. The two-tap, the reload, it's great, right? It's just the platform. The handling of the tank with these wheels is a pain. And I'll still say that this tank is not a beginner's tank. It's not a tank that if you are inexperienced with light tanks or you're fairly new to the game that you're going to want to play. You're not going to do that well with it. You're going to really struggle with the handling because its handling is pretty poor. And you have to do a lot to get the best out of the tank. And it's, like I say, the handling on it, the wheels, the way it is been acting is pretty horrible. And they released an update on Wednesday that fixed the left-hand wheel that was not moving, or that didn't really affect the handling. And they did something else to slightly tweak the handling, I think it was. And they've just announced on stream as well that they're going to release a patch this coming Tuesday that will help the handling of the tank even more. And by doing that, they're saying that they're going from digital handling to analog handling, something like that. I think that was the words that Panhard said. And by that, it means that the thing that is the most annoying stuff about this tank, and you're about to witness it, is that when you tap the stick, the tank swings to the left or right. There's no slight adjustments, it just swings. Whereas, here it is. So that's me tapping the stick slightly to the right, just trying to adjust so that I can go straight out, and the tank just swung to the right. You know, that's what it does. Whereas he's saying that this analog thing that they're doing will make it easier to turn in tighter engagements. Like there again, like say tapping the stick to the left, you seem to just swing to the left rather than just, you know, incrementally changing the way you're driving, like you would be able to with wheels, right? You know, you turn the steering wheel slightly to the left, you're not going to, the wheel is not going to swing out and your tank's not going to just swing straight to the left. That's not going to happen. Whereas, you know, that's basically what he's saying that's going to happen now, is the fact that you can sort of slightly micro adjust your wheels, that you're going to turn slightly to the left, not full swing. And like I said, that is my pain with this tank, is that the mobility is so hard and so just silly trying to get used to it, or the handling I should say, that you can't micro adjust in that, and that really does screw you over on a lot of maps and in a lot of different situations. But so I'm hoping this patch that they release on Tuesday will fix that and make it a lot nicer, and that'll be alright. But we are going to have some pretty big games here, and this shows off what the tank can do with this gun, right? And playing it a different style. I don't play it as a light tank. I play it as a mobile tank destroyer. That's the way I've changed to playing it, and I've had a lot more success with it in the 20 or so extra games I've played so far with it. And these are just two cherry-picked great games that I've had with it. Like I say, yeah, mobile tank destroyer, essentially. Run and gun. Get into a position to use the great camo, spotting people with, by the way, the horrific view range. Because this tank, like I say, has two strengths. Camo and the gun. Weaknesses, the handling, which is something that hopefully they can micro-adjust and fix and to make it more enjoyable in that way. And view range. The view range is absolutely abysmal. It's 310. You're going to see it in the next game. There's one where it's just like, you just can't spot things. And it's very, very annoying in that regard. If it was like 350 or 340 even, it would be a lot better. But 310 is just ew, essentially. But yeah. I also would like to say I made a mistake with my crew in the review, and that was that track mechanic doesn't work for wheels. MaxCal said it, I uploaded the video, said it to self, and then MaxCal said, yep, track mechanic doesn't work for wheels. I said that, didn't I? So I put the disclaimer in the thing, but I'm telling you now, it doesn't work for wheels. So instead I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, General Mechanic, Steady Aim, Run and Gun, Muffled Shot and Camouflage Expertise. Now, General Mechanic is 10%, is basically the old repair. So it's 10% quicker to repair a damaged module. Well, obviously a wheel is a module. If it's damaged, it'll be repaired 10% quicker. You need something to be able to get that wheel repaired faster. Because the problem is, you get shot in that wheel, you lose a lot of your mobility, whatever maneuverability you had, you lose that and you become like dead in the water. And if you are crossing an open field, yeah, it's going to be painful. So you want something at least that can help with that repair. So yeah, this tank, I've been playing it more like a run and gun mobile tank destroyer. So using the camo to be able to spot someone and then running away to a safe enough distance to be able to get shots at them where I'm not going to get spotted, because that's what the tank can do, and then hitting them with this double tap. Now at range like we are now, the 180 pen on this APCR drops off to about 140 something, I think it was 144 possibly at 500 meters like we are sat right now. And that is abysmal, especially when you're tier 10. You're not going to be penning much with that, but you can switch to the 220 heat pen, which will help you a lot. And yeah, I've been playing it like this a lot, and it's really, really helped to be this mobile tank destroyer rather than the sort of aggressive scouting light tank like I was trying to play it, and it wasn't pulling off all that well, really. You can just use the mobility to get to the aggressive position and use this great double tap, because that's what it is. The double tap is really nice, and you've just got to get used to switching your drive mode and knowing when you need this mode that we're in now, the cruise mode, and the rapid mode for the speed, because then you can get the gun handling and you can shut down tanks like the little pest there, the Vanguard. And then you can also, in cruise mode, be able to get good shots on the move into tanks like this MT-25 that's sat in front of us. I know I'm going to take the hit from him, but we pop both shots in. So yeah, I've had more success playing it like this, not expecting myself to go rushing off to go spot and being active like I thought it was designed to be. I've done better adjusting my playstyle and being that run and gun tank destroyer. That's the way I would advise you to play it if you are struggling to play it like a scout. But there's a lot of nuances you've got to get used to. You've got to get accustomed to switching the modes constantly to get the best out of the position you're in, and then just get used to the steering. And the steering is still an absolute pain, and I couldn't recommend the tank with the steering as it is at all. But hopefully the patch that they say they're going to release on Tuesday to change it from digital steering to analog steering, official terms, will help it and make it just bearable to drive. And hopefully that'll help the tech tree wheelies when they come out on Tuesday, which they're supposed to. So, yeah, this game on Lakeville, it's gone pretty well. We've ended up with 4k damage, 248 assistance, and a couple of kills. And we managed to finish off that Indian Panzer at the end there, end up with 4.4k damage. Say the victory, we've come top, 7 kills, 2k base, 248 assistance. Devastator, high caliber, Top Gun first class. And like I say, yeah, 2005 base XP. Now that's not surprising really, because generally when a new tank, especially for a tank that's sort of the prelude to a new line comes out, most of the good players tend to get it and start smashing it in the tank and then make the base XP requirements for the ace tanker absolutely ridiculous. So we're on to the second game, and we're on steps. And I am going to play, I should have, this is me not switching to the mode quick enough, but we've done it. I've switched to rapid mode to get to this bush. Activated food to get our view range boost, and we've pulled into this bush. This bush here is a good bush for light tanks, because you can sit in it and you can spot most of their tanks that cross to go to the heavy tank flank, and most of the time you can spot the tanks going across to the medium tank flank, and you can get a fair whack of assistance from sitting in this bush, and it's a good bush for light tanks. Now unfortunately it doesn't work for the EBR. I'm spotting 1 or 2 tanks that are floating. It's basically a good bush for me for the EBR to be able to use the amazing camo of this tank, sit in it, stay and spot the medium tanks or light tanks trying to play the middle, and hopefully they get shot. But for the EBR it doesn't work, because we only have 300 odd view range, which is just dreadful. Even with food boost, we're not going to beat people's camos. We're not going to spot people that are even camping like where this Durham Mill was, and that's a problem. So I decided, you know what, we're going to be a bit more active. We're going to go and attack. We've left it a bit longer so that we know where the tanks are. We're now in cruise mode, and we're going after this Cromwell. We get 1 in, we get 2 in. I basically came in to help this medium tank, and we are going to just get into a position where we're safe from everyone else, and in a position where we can finish off this Cromwell. That's kill number 1, or number 2 possibly, because I think we killed T-37 maybe. And yeah, we've got rid of that guy, and now we're going to go after this stirrer mill. He is my next target. There's a T29. There's the equalizer, and I'm thinking, oh, an equalizer, okay. Then the 1375 drives out in front of us. It's like, well, I'll get one shot into him. Why not? After we crashed into the Barask. This equalizer is out in the open. It's like, well, I ignore everyone else. I can't turn this down to get a shot into the piggy. We get 2 shots into him. I was wishing I had HE loaded, but unfortunately we didn't have it in. We could have 2-shot that equalizer easily, but it is what it is. We switched to HE, though, to get some shots into this stirrer mill, because while we've got his back end with 75 pen on this HE, which is absolutely fantastic, we managed to get 2 big hits into the back of him, because that's something you've got to exploit with this EBR, is getting shots with HE and hitting people with these HE rounds. Because these HE rounds are great if you pen them, but you've got to aim it properly. So like there, we hit the gun mantlet with HE. Gun mantlet with HE is not going to work, and then we end up hitting the extreme angled side part of the stirrer mill there, which meant we didn't pen it, which meant the APCR would have been better, but it is what it is. But we end up shutting down the stirrer mill, and then we shut down the 1375, and from this position I may still be spotted, but right now I'm not detected, and I know that I'm not going to get shot by this artillery because he's probably focusing on the medium tank, and also he's got a big train car in front of him. He's not going to be able to hit me, so by doing this I can stay safe from him and try and help my friend over there and keep getting shots in. Now, unfortunately, we end up bouncing off the T29 with the penetration problems that we have over distance. I mean, we're only at like 300 meters shooting at that guy, but it's still going to be a bit of a problem. We end up shooting down the VK3002D, which is nice, and now I've switched to rapid mode, and I'm just waiting for me to get unspotted so that I can now go into a position to get behind this equalizer and shut him down. Because I want to get rid of this artillery, and I can get some shots into this guy and get one into the back of the T29, great. And there's the fantastic camo. We weren't very far from that equalizer, but we had a bush between us, and we also had the great camo. We shot the equalizer, didn't get spotted. Shot the back end of the T29, didn't get spotted, great. We did get spotted there, though, because the T29 was up on the train tracks, and there wasn't actually as many bushes between us there, so he managed to keep us spotted. There is an annoying little bug as well when you're on train tracks and stuff like that, where you sit on them and then your tank starts to bounce up and down. It's a bit jarring, but it is what it is. Anyway, we get into a position in this bush here to spot the T29 and then pull back behind the bush as much as possible to help the camo of the tank when we're shooting at the T29. By using that bush, we were improving our camo even more. And then obviously we purchased like muffled shot, camo net. We're making sure that that guy wasn't spotting us when we're firing from behind the cover. Now we've got heat loaded to make sure that we're going to go through the upper plate of the T29 because we did bounce off him. Because like I say, the penetration really does struggle. And even in tier 10 games, the 180 APCR, when you're starting to get to some sort of range, trust me, the APCR pen starts to struggle. We get up behind this VK101P, make the wrong choice in shooting the side of his turret, but do get one into his back end. Wait for the clip to go in, finish off, get a nice high roll, finish off the Chieftain T95, and now we're just going to pull up alongside this VK101P, keep ourselves in a safe position to not get shot by the T29, and pop 2 high rolls into the VK101P to finish him off. That was 2 juicy high rolls. Okay, finished him off. Now there's this T29. It's like, okay, I've got to get back to the cap. But because this tank's quick, I know I have enough time to drop the 2 shells into that T29 to leave him on a 1-shot for my buddies to kill him. And now we're in rapid mode and we're on our way. Now, I didn't switch to cruise mode there to shoot that T29, same as I'm not going to do it here for this Caro, because I want to keep my speed. But because the aim time on this tank is obviously fantastic, goes with just the way the gun is, I knew that I could just let it aim in and shut him down. Now there's 1 tank left, it's in the cap, and this is where the horrendous view range and the great camo comes into play. Because watch what happens here. We're like less than 200 meters away from the cap. We could not see that T25/2, but this is where the amazing camo is as well, because he couldn't see us. Yeah, that's this tank. For some reason, I couldn't see him whatsoever. We just couldn't see each other. But as soon as I got closer, I managed to spot him eventually, and then he couldn't spot me. By the way, did you count how many kills we got? I wasn't counting. We ended up with 10 kills, 4.6k damage and 2.1k base. 10 kills. I was like, at the end of this game, I was flabbergasted. I was like, what? When did that happen? Pools Medal? Ace Tanker, Devastator, Pools Medal, Top Gun, Defender, High Caliber, the 2.1k base, which is an Ace Tanker. Pools Medal, 10 kills? What? And we had a really, really great game for the EBR, and it shows what the tank can do when you play it as that mobile tank destroyer. Keep yourself evasive, keep dodging, keep the gun working, and you'll have a great time. Hopefully the mobility gets fixed with patch on Tuesday. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!